Who's ready for hyperinflation? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I warned you. I warned you. I warned you like, a long time ago. Hopefully everyone was prepared, because this is a good time to be prepared. Well, we should have been prepared before all this, but let me show you what I saw. Just, if all this goes through, be prepared for everything you've purchased, everything to just skyrocket in the price. So Mr. Joe, I don't know where I am, who I am, how I got here, Biden unveils a 6 trillion, you heard me, 6 trillion budget plan. Do I even need to say more? Do you even need to read any of this here? That is, you don't know what you're doing, man. You don't have a clue what you're doing. So this old man here, who wants to take down the country, he's proposing the 6 trillion budget. Oh my. You already seen the inflation. You've already seen the inflation from the trillions that were printed up under a Trump, okay? And then Mr. Biden has also printed up a few trillion. Let me tell you this. We talked about this the other day when I mentioned this as well. When you have a currency that can constantly be printed up over and over and over again, and there's no limited supply, that causes inflation, because the currency isn't worth anything. It's not valued at anything. Think about it for a moment. As we talked about, if you had a resource, like, a lot of people are looking at gold, for example. I just use gold as an example. So a lot of people have a physical resource or some sort of other digital resource, such as cryptocurrencies, depending on the current one, certain ones. There's a limited supply of that. When there's a limited supply, that means the demand will be higher. Because when the demand is higher for the remaining resources that are left, the price will end up going up. That's why you see, gold increasing in value. You see, cryptocurrencies increasing in value that have a limited supply. Okay, I mean, think about it very rationally. If there's 10 rare items in the entire world, someone, one person wants to sell it, they're going to sell it for a very high price because it's such a rare item. Whereas if there's millions of them, billions of them, trillions of them, they're not worth anything, because you can just find it everywhere. They're just all over the place. That's what's happening here in this situation here. So you have this constant money printing and spending, which is absolutely insane. And as I said, be prepared for the hyperinflation. Is your money in something that is increasing in value? I mentioned the cryptocurrencies, and even though the cryptocurrencies did have a big hard crash presently because of, the whole China thing and the Elon Musk crap, it's all fear. It's all fear to make you sell it at a lower price than what you bought it at, so you lose money, so you never enter the game again. But let me tell you this. If you put money into the cryptocurrencies, or even the stock market as well, the stock market has also been a good return if you've invested wisely, and you put money in when it goes down. Over time, you end up making a lot of money. Okay? As I've said, I have doubled, tripled, or quadrupled my amount of money that I've put into these things, depending on what it is. Now, of course, the cryptocurrencies, they kind of crashed a bit, and now it's not up as much. But ultimately, the US dollar, remember back when your grandparents were young, and they would say to you, I remember when a loaf of bread or a candy bar used to cost like 5 cents, 10 cents or whatever. It used to cost a nickel. What does it cost now? A few dollars? What is it going to cost when you're your grandparents' age and you're talking to your kids? I remember when a loaf of bread used to cost $4, and now it's like $40. Do you see the problem? You see the problem. So your money, even though you get a $1 bill, you get a $5 bill, whatever, it's always going to be that $1 or $5. But essentially, it's like if you rip it up a bit, your $1 is worth only like 20 cents at that point. Your $1 is worth so much less than it actually was before. There you go. It's a bit too loud. Okay. So your $1 is worth less than what it was before. Your $1 million, if you're saved up to $1 million, back in the day, that used to be tons of money. Now, $1 million, it still kind of seems like a lot, but how's it going to be in like 20 years from now? Well, not even 20 years. Well, how's it going to be in like 5 years from now? That you're 20,000. I mean, your $1 million may actually seem like $200,000. So I just said, if you put the money in cryptocurrencies, I just say you put $1,000 in there, and the price of whatever the currency you put in, like Bitcoin, for example, goes up, then that $1,000 is worth so much more, which is actually equals out to how the economy's doing. So that means your money is actually working for you. And it's actually worth probably the same amount as it technically should be. So $1,000 turning it into $10,000, and that's how much you would need for the economy because of how bad it is here. Especially Mr. Biden here, Mr. Destroy America Biden. Yeah, I don't know, but it's interesting. Just think about that number for a moment. $6 trillion. What they need to do is they need to wire transfer that directly into my bank account, and I'll keep it. So they need to do. But anyway, that was all for today. Let me know your thoughts on this, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye.